We live in a fascinating era for non-traditional projectile platforms. 20 years ago, the idea that a hunter, pest controller, or field shooter could carry a compact, repeatable, and legally effective system that did not use conventional metallic cartridges would have sounded exotic to most people. Today, the technology behind pre-charged pneumatic air rifles, regulated PCP systems, multi-shot arrow launchers, and hybrid conversion rifles has matured to the point that these platforms are practical, accurate, and in many cases, ethically capable on medium and large game. The Force Texan family must be the first entry because it defines the modern big-bore PCP category for many shooters. The Texan LSS-50 CF example in the script was described as a 50 caliber platform with a large 490 cubic centimeter tank rated to 250 bar, producing roughly 3 to 4 hard-hitting shots per fill when pushed to the highest power settings. Ballistically, that was reported as moving a 620 grain slug at approximately 620 feet per second, which is roughly 800 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Those numbers put the Texan into the same conversation as Magnum centerfire rifles, when terminal energy is the only metric. But the Texan accomplishes that with near-silent reports relative to powder guns and with very little felt recoil. The Texan's strengths are straightforward: a proven inline valving design that gives predictable shot-to-shot performance, an excellent Lothar-Walther barrel that helps the platform retain practical accuracy at range, and a modular nature that allows personalization of stock, trigger, and optics. The trade-offs are also obvious. At extreme power levels, you will be limited to a few effective shots per fill, and the logistics of filling a 250 bar bottle mean you will either need a high-pressure compressor, an SCBA tank, or a high-pressure hand pump and patience. My practical opinion is that the Texan family is the correct choice when your primary objective is maximum per-shot terminal performance, in a package that can still be reasonably shouldered and carried. If you hunt big-bodied game where ethical one-shot or two-shot kills are required, and you have the ability to recharge, the Texan does what few other non-cartridge systems can. An alternative concept is represented by arrow launchers, and the Umarex Air Javelin Pro stands out as a refined airbow approach. The Air Javelin Pro replaced small K2 power plants with a pre-charged pneumatic power source and a regulator, allowing heavy 170 grain straight flight arrows to reach speeds up to around 370 feet per second and energies near 50 foot-pounds. Where the Air Javelin Pro excels is in delivering consistent, relatively quiet arrow shots with low recoil, a generous Picatinny rail for optics, M-Loke accessory attachment points, and practical ergonomics for hunters. The regulator and the tank capacity allow shooters to get a string of shots at consistent velocity, and the Foster-style Quick Connect makes fills less fiddly in the field. My subjective take is that the Air Javelin Pro is ideal for recoil-sensitive shooters, or anyone who wants an ethical, quiet method to control pests or take medium-sized game without the logistical burden of firearms. It will not replace a heavy crossbow at extreme ranges or match the penetration of high-caliber slugs, but it offers a unique, low-recoil platform that performs reliably out to ethical archery ranges. Hybrid crossover designs are fun and practical, and the Tradition's Crackshot XBR is one that deserves credit because it does two different jobs well. At its heart, the Crackshot is a single-shot 22 LR rifle that converts to an arrow launcher with a dedicated XBR upper and a small power load. The conversion fires a blank-style charge that pushes arrows at about 385 feet per second with a quiet report, which makes the gun family friendly and a great teaching tool. The ergonomic lightness of the rifle, its synthetic stock, and minimal recoil make it accessible for younger shooters or family use, while the conversion capability provides a credible arrow option for small and some medium game. Objective reality: the Crackshot XBR is not a big bore or regulated PCP, and its arrow performance depends on load quality and arrow selection. But its niche value is high. My subjective verdict is that if you want one compact platform that can be a rimfire trainer and an occasional arrow launcher, the Crackshot's modularity and low weight make it a fun and economical choice. Umarex's hammer carbine builds on the concept of repeating big bore PCPs and addresses real field issues with practical engineering. The hammer carbine is a bolt-action, repeating big bore constructed to produce substantial energy in a short hunting rifle package by using a 350 cubic centimeter carbon fiber tank and a specifically sealed magazine that limits the sideways blast of air at the magwell when fired. On paper, a 350 grain slug at 820 feet per second for roughly 523 foot-pounds of energy from a compact carbine length barrel is compelling. In the field, that means the hammer carbine brings full power, big bore terminal performance, without the length and bulk of a full-size heavy rifle. The sealed magazine and improved tank geometry in the carbine show attention to real user pain points. For my money, the hammer carbine is an excellent choice for hunters who need magazine capacity, full-bore energy, and a compact rifle for brush or mountain work where maneuverability matters. The Benjamin Bulldog represents a different set of trade-offs: compactness, coupled with a pump-friendly fill system and versatile ammunition options. The Bulldog family, particularly in the .357 variant detailed in the script, packs a 28-inch barrel and a 340 cubic centimeter reservoir that fills to 3,000 psi, uses a 5-shot magazine, and often includes a trapezoidal sound suppression chamber and reversible side lever. A distinguishing feature is the Bulldog's ability to run so-called air bolts or arrow-style projectiles that, when combined with its respectable rifled barrel and reservoir, exceed the performance of many premium crossbows in terms of bolt velocity and energy. From a practical perspective, the Bulldog is a very field-friendly big bore because it is easy to top up with a high-pressure hand pump in remote areas. And its repeatable accuracy and 5-shot magazine make it a great all-rounder. Subjectively, I view the Bulldog as a sweet spot rifle for hunters who want serious .357 caliber power, without the logistical or weight extremes of the largest big bores. If your priority is multi-shot arrow capability, the AirSaber Elite X2 is a dedicated product designed with that mission in mind. The Elite X2 uses high-pressure air to propel 376 grain carbon arrows at velocities up to about 450 feet per second, delivering energy numbers often reported around 169 foot-pounds per shot on a full tank. The platform promises approximately 25 high-energy shots per fill, an onboard pressure in the 3,600 PI neighborhood, and a Foster fitting for easy recharging. It is purpose-built for repeatable arrow shots with a design focus on ergonomics, bolt compatibility, and consistent groupings at practical hunting ranges. My opinion is that the AirSaber Elite X2 is a practical, purpose-built multi-shot airbow. If arrows are your preferred projectile type and your local regulations allow arrow rifles for the game you pursue, the Elite X2 is a serious and usable tool. The Benjamin Pioneer takes the multi-shot arrow concept even further with a bullpup chassis that houses an onboard reservoir capable of firing up to 8 full-size arrows per charge at velocities near 450 feet per second. The Pioneer uses a regulator to keep shot-to-shot variance low and delivers quoted energies in the 150 to 170 foot-pound range with 375 grain carbon arrows. Accuracy claims of a 2-inch group at 50 meters for competent shooters are a strong endorsement for field use. The compactness of a bullpup layout, combined with magazine-like arrow capacity and consistent regulated shots, makes the Pioneer notable for hunters who want the rapid follow-up capability that traditional bows lack. I believe the Pioneer is one of the best options for a shooter who values compact handling, multi-shot capability, and the specific ballistic profile of carbon arrows. For aesthetics and sheer arrow performance, the Seneca Dragonclaw was described in the script as a beautiful and capable 50 caliber platform that can fire arrows consistently at jaw-dropping velocities near 500 feet per second. The Dragonclaw's dual-chamber approach increases shot count between charges, and its build-quality polished receiver, hardwood mono-style stock, engraved receiver, makes it appealing to shooters who appreciate form as much as function. The key takeaway is that when you combine 50 caliber bore diameter with purpose-built 50 cal arrows, repeatable accuracy at higher velocities is possible. Practically, that equates to greater downrange energy and the ability to extend effective ranges when compared to smaller bore arrow rigs. In my view, the Dragonclaw is an elegant and capable airbow that is ideal for shooters who want high arrow velocity wrapped in a classically styled package. If absolute arrow energy is your single-minded objective, the Hatsan Harpoon was singled out in the script as the most powerful arrow rifle in the group, capable of launching 20-inch arrows at an astonishing 600 feet per second, producing roughly 325 foot-pounds of energy. The Harpoon uses an adaptable barrel system that accepts a variety of commercial arrows, and its onboard 500 cubic centimeter air tank provides about 10 high-powered shots per fill. It is built with user-centric features like adjustable cheek rests and a long rail for optics, and its bullpup layout with textured grips and storage demonstrates a hunter-centric design. My honest assessment is that the Harpoon is a statement piece. It is for the person who wants the maximum arrow kinetic energy available from a pneumatic platform and who can manage the fill logistics and weight trade-offs. Where legal and appropriate, the Harpoon is a powerful tool that extends ethical killing potential to ranges and targets that lesser airbows cannot match. The FX Impact deserves inclusion because it is perhaps the most mature and modular PCP on the market. Described as a bullpup with a removable carbon fiber bottle, a tactile side lever action, and the ability to swap barrels, probes, and magazines, the Impact is optimized for shooters who want one platform to handle many missions. Installing a 22 barrel for small game, AT-25 or 30 for longer or heavier work, and carrying spare bottles in the field are part of the Impact's appeal. Performance is consistent due to high-quality regulators and a well-engineered action, while ergonomics and accessory compatibility make it easy to set up for many hunting scenarios. My subjective verdict is straightforward. If you want a single, high-end PCP that covers everything from backyard, plinking, to predator hunting, to small, to medium game work, demoing an FX Impact is a smart first step. The Gauntlet 2 SL and its family members are notable because they represent an exceptional value in the regulated PCP space. Upgrading the regulated bottle to higher pressures and keeping the regulated bottle forward design gives the Gauntlet 2 increased power and a higher shot count, while maintaining an approachable price point for serious hunters. The side lever action, adjustable stock features, integrated moderator, and magazine capacity in some models make the Gauntlet 2 SL a practical, hard-working rifle for those who care more about bang for the buck performance than about boutique features. I consider the Gauntlet 2 SL the pragmatic choice for a hunter who wants regulated performance, magazine feeding, and reliable field performance without the premium bolt-on price of more exotic systems. Airguns of Arizona's Bushbuck shows that boutique manufacturers can produce rifles that combine classic sporter lines with modern PCP internals. The Bushbuck is a bolt-action, single-shot, 452 style big bore with a laminate stock, a 30-inch barrel, and a 285 cubic centimeter reservoir that fills to 4,500 psi. With 2 power settings and an option to be charged with a hand pump, the Bushbuck is well suited to hunters who value single-shot precision, a classic rifle feel, and manageable field logistics. In practice, a shooter who prefers bolt actions and a sporter aesthetic will find the Bushbuck satisfying because it couples the old-school look with modern ballistic performance. In closing, the world of non-cartridge projectile platforms is no longer a curiosity. It is a mature, functional, and in many cases, ethically effective alternative to traditional firearms for a range of shooting disciplines. From the modularity of the FX Impact to the raw authority of the Texan, from multi-shot arrow systems like the Pioneer to value-oriented regulated rifles like the Gauntlet 2SL. The 15 platforms above represent real options for the modern hunter and field shooter. Evaluate your mission, check the laws in your jurisdiction, plan your refill logistics, and train with the system you select. With thoughtful matching of platform to purpose, these non-traditional rifles can be safe, effective, and deeply satisfying to own and use.